In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to find an extra $833 every month. That's exactly what you need to save $10,000 in 1 year. And no, this isn't about eating rice and beans or giving up everything you enjoy. But I'm also not going to tell you that saving $10,000 in a year is easy. It's not. It requires discipline, some sacrifices, and most importantly, a solid plan. But it is achievable, and I'll show you exactly how to approach it. Think of it like analyzing a company. We need to look at the fundamentals, understand the numbers, and create a strategy that actually makes sense. No magic formulas, just practical steps that work. First, let's be clear about what we are dealing with. If you want to save $10,000 in 12 months, that means saving $833 per month. For someone making $50,000 a year, that's about 20% of gross income going to savings. That's substantial. And even though I'm a big fan of the saying, do not save what is left after spending, spend what is left after saving, we have to be honest here. Jumping straight to saving 20% is tough for most people. But here's what actually works. A psychology professor named Gail Matthews took 267 people from all walks of life and divided them into groups. Group 1 just thought about their goals. They achieved 43% of them. But Group 5, they wrote down their goals, created action plans, and told their friends, and also sent updates to them. They achieved 76% of their goals. That's not a small difference. So right now, grab a piece of paper and write this. I will save $10,000 by a specific date, for example, around 12 months from now. Then write why. Is it for an emergency fund, a house down payment, or to finally start investing? As Simon Sinek explains in his book Start With Why, knowing your why gives purpose and direction to your actions. When you understand the deeper reason behind your goals, you're more motivated and consistent in pursuing them, even when challenges come up. Just like we analyze companies' expenses, we need to analyze yours. And I'm talking about real analysis, not just spending less on coffee. Pull up your last 3 months of bank statements. Categorize every expense. Yes, it's tedious, but you can't manage what you don't measure. And here are 3 things you are looking for. Subscription waste. In 2022, C&R Research published a study finding that consumers spend on average $133 more each month on subscriptions than they realize. And 42% of people have forgotten they are still paying for at least one they don't even use. So go through your subscriptions one by one. Cancel anything you don't actively use or downgrade to a cheaper plan if possible. That alone could save you anywhere from a few $100s to well over $1,000 per year, just by cutting on what you don't need. Second, food expenses. The average cost of lunch at work in the US is around $15 to $20, which adds up to $300 to $400 per month. A home-cooked meal, on the other hand, costs about $5. That's 3 to 4 times cheaper. If you prepare your meals 4 days a week and buy lunch only once, you will save anywhere from $160 to $260 a month. That's $1,920 to $3,120 a year. And yes, meal prepping can be boring, but so is being broke. And the big three: housing, transportation, and food typically make up 60 to 70% of expenses. So ask yourself, can you negotiate your rent? Even a 5% reduction on $1,500 rent saves you $900 per year. Can you refinance a car loan? Shop for cheaper insurance? These aren't exciting moves, but they work. Realistically, most people can cut $150 to $250 per month through strategic moves without dramatically changing their lifestyles. That's $1,800 to $3,000 per year. Here's the reality. Cutting expenses has limits. You need to increase income to make this work comfortably. First option, ask for a raise. According to pay scale data, only 37% of workers ever ask for a raise. And what is even more mind-blowing is that of those who ask, 70 to 75% get some increase, even if not the full amount. So just a small 3% raise on a $50,000 salary is $1,500 per year. So schedule that conversation as fast as possible. Second option, side income. And I'm not talking about starting a business or becoming an influencer. I'm talking about using existing skills for 5 to 10 hours per week. Tutoring pays $25 to $50 per hour. Freelance writing pays $30 to $80 per article. Even driving for Uber on weekends can net you hundreds of dollars per month. And pick something you can actually sustain for a year, not something you'll quit after 2 weeks. Most side hustles fail within 3 months due to overambition, and consistency always beats intensity in the long term. Third option, sell stuff you don't need. Nielsen research found that the average US home has $3,100 worth of unused items. Also, 1 in 10 Americans rents storage units, so they are paying around $90 per month to store items they don't use. So go through your home, find old electronics, furniture, clothes. It's a one-time boost, but it helps build momentum. So let's be conservative here. Expense reduction can get you $400 per month, that is $4,800 per year. Side income and a very small raise can fairly easily get you $350 per month, so that is $4,200 per year. Selling items, $1,000, but that is a one-time income. And the total is $10,000. This is where most people fail. They rely on willpower instead of systems. Open a separate high-yield savings account. If you can get 3 to 5% on your $10,000, that's $300 to $500 of passive income. Also, set up automatic transfers the day after your paycheck. Always pay yourself first. Start with whatever you can, even if it's just $200 per month initially. The automation is critical. It takes away your willpower from the equation. Let's be realistic. You will face setbacks. Car repairs, medical bills, unexpected expenses, but they are not really unexpected, they are just unplanned for. So create a small buffer first, $500 in a separate account for these small emergencies. This prevents you from touching your main savings. Also, track your progress monthly, not daily, that's obsessive, and not yearly, that's too infrequent. Monthly gives you enough data to see trends without driving yourself crazy. And here's something important. If you fall back 1 month, don't try to catch up the next month by saving double. That usually leads to burnout. Just get back on track and adjust your timeline if needed. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Once you reach $10,000, you have options. At that point, you can start choosing rather than just surviving. Keep about half, $5,000, as your emergency fund. That's your safety net and foundation. With the rest, consider investing. Your money can now start working for you. A simple S&P 500 index fund is a great starting point for long-term growth. If you prefer generating passive income every quarter, then you can explore dividend investing. But remember, all investing involves risk. If you'd like to dig deeper into dividend investing, visit stockinvesting.academy and check out my beginner-friendly course. The link is in the description. Look, I am not going to pretend this is easy. Saving $10,000 in a year means real changes in how you handle money. Some months will be harder than others. You might need 14 months instead of 12, and that's totally fine. The point isn't perfection, it's progress. Most people never start because they think they need the perfect plan. But as Peter Lynch once said, the real key to making money in stocks is not to get scared out of them. The same principle applies to saving. Don't get scared out of it when it gets tough. Start with 3 simple actions today. Write down your goal and your why, open a high-yield saving account, and set up an automatic transfer, even if it is just $50. Small steps, consistently applied, lead to significant results. If you enjoyed this video, check out my breakdown of one of the best books on building wealth, Richer, Wiser, Happier by William Green. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.